Jagadev, and thank you for joining us today. Today we have with us an art of living expert and an officer of the Vedic Samsan. Today we are going to recreate the iconic song "This Land Is Your Land" with respect to its application to the Art of Living International Center in Bangalore Ashram. So, how does this recreating "This Land Is Your Land" come about? This ashram is your ashram. Yes, Jagadav. When visitors walk through the Sumeru slopes, they feel a rhythm of wind through the trees, of chants in the Dhyan Mandir, of laughter from volunteers. It felt like the ashram itself was singing. The idea was to express that spirit, just as Woody Guthrie once sang of belonging to the land. But here, belonging expands not to territory but to consciousness. This ashram is your ashrams reminds everyone that peace and seva are shared spaces, not private possessions. Every hall, every step is for you and me. The song arose naturally from the ashram's sanctity. It's surrounded by Panchayat hills, resonating with the ancient vibrations of Tapovan and Vedic chanting. Reimagining the song anchors it into the sacred soil of the International Center, where modern seekers meet timeless tradition. Now, how does the Vishalakshmi Mandap reflect the opening lines? I saw above me that endless skyway. Vishalakshmi Mandap is more than an architectural marvel. It's a symbol of the boundless sky of consciousness. When you stand at its steps at dawn, the sun rays touch its dome and you feel that endless skyway within. That line in the song beautifully parallels the mandap's energy, vast, unconfined, and inclusive. The name Vishalakshi means the one with the vast eyes, a form of the Divine Mother who sees it all. The domes, all the layers represent ascending stages of awareness, from the material to the infinite. In Vedic symbolism, the sky or Vyoma is the field of Brahman, limitless consciousness. So, yes, that endless skyway is not poetic fancy, it's spiritual geometry embodied in architecture. Now, in the song, there is a line I saw below me that golden valley. What would that golden valley be in the ashram context? Yes, the valley is the silent stretch between the Vishalakshmi Mandap and the Dhyan Mandir, where wind carries chants from both ends. It's golden at sunrise, glowing like consciousness itself waking up. Volunteers walk there with smiles, yogis meditate under trees, and laughter mingles with the bird song. That valley is where belongingness becomes tangible. Indeed, geographically it sits in a natural bowl formed by the Sumeru and Panchakarma hills. In Vedic cosmology, the Golden Valley recalls Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb from which creation emerges. The ashram's valley vibrates with Gayatri chants and Rudrabhishekams and Devi pujas, symbolizing creation and rejuvenation. Now, how does the chorus line, "This ashram is your home, this ashram is my home," mirror the essence of seva and community here? Seva in the ashram erases distinctions. A CEO and a student might chop vegetables side by side in Annapurna kitchen. That's where the line reads, "This place belongs to all who come in the spirit of service." There is no hierarchy, only harmony. Yes, the Vedas say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. Here, that's not a slogan, it's a practice. Every devotee, every visitor is part of the same sacred household. That's why the song resonates. It's a living translation of an ancient mantra into modern melody. Now, can you describe the Dhyan Mandir in the spirit of the song's sparkling sands of a diamond deserts? In Dhyan Mandir, silence sparkles like diamond dust when thousands of seekers sit in meditation. Even the air vibrates with the purity. Diamond deserts is that stillness, empty of noise, yet shining with awareness. The mandir's marble floor catches candlelight like jewels. Every silence is a gem. The Dhyan Mandir is designed following Vastu Shastra. Its alignment and acoustics create natural resonance in ancient Vedic imagery. Deserts represent renunciation, diamonds represent clarity. Together, they signify the brilliance that dawns when one's mind becomes empty yet luminous. Now, what role does Sumeru Hill play in this musical journey of belonging? The Sumeru Mantap is, or the Sumeru Hill is like the heart of the song. Every sunrise from there feels like consciousness itself singing. Gurudev often walks or sits there silently, and you feel nature harmonize around him. It's where the lyric, "This ashram was made for you and me," it turns experiential. Vedically, Sumeru is the cosmic mountain, the axis of the universe. The hill here carries that symbolism. It's not accidental that satsangs happen below it. It's a living Meru connecting earth and heaven, sound and silence. It was the venue for satsang for so many years before the satsang shifted to amphitheater and Vishalakshi Mandap. Now the song speaks of the fog was lifting, a voice come chanting. What does that evoke in ashram mornings? Every morning, mist rises from the valley as the conch sounds at sunrise. It's exactly that, the fog lifting and chants flowing. The first Om from the Dhyan Mandir feels like the earth exhaling peace. Now, in the Vedic sense, the moment is Sandhya Kala, the time between night and day, when prayers dissolve ignorance, fog, and invoke or clarity or light. The chanting is not just sound, it is transformation of atmosphere of the inner self. Now, how does a song reflect the connection between nature and spirituality in the ashram? The song celebrates nature as divine hills, streams, forests, all are living presences. Gurudev often says nature is not outside you, you are part of it. The ashram embodies that truth. Trees sway with bhajans, peacocks join meditations, and even the rain seems rhythmic. In Vedic cosmology, every natural form, hill, water, tree is sacred. In ashrams, the Panchabhuta or five elements balance is deliberate. This ashram is your ashram, acknowledges nature as part of the seeker's spiritual ecology. Now, what does the line, the fog was lifting a voice, come chanting, teach us spiritually? It's the awakening from confusion to clarity. The fog is the mind's restlessness. Chanting is awareness calling you home. When that happens, you don't just see the sunrise, you become it. Indeed, chanting or mantra japa is a sacred tool to lift the fog of ignorance. That line poetically represents avidya nivritti, the removal of veils through sound vibrations. What is the significance of Annapurna Kitchen in the spirit of this ashram is your home? This ashram is my home. Yes, Annapurna is where belonging becomes nourishment. Volunteers cook thousands of meals daily, not as duty but devotion. Every plate carries the energy of seva. It's the song's heart in action for you and me. In Vedic terms, Annapurna Devi symbolizes abundance and sharing. Feeding without discrimination is a sacred act of yajna, sacrifice through service. Annapurna Kitchen translates that into everyday life, bridging spirituality and sustenance. Now, the Panchakarma Center is often called a healing heart of the ashram. How does it resonate with the song's spirit of renewal and belonging? Panchakarma is where the body sings its own silent melody of a healing. As a song celebrates the valleys and streams, Panchakarma celebrates the flow of prana within us. Just like the refrain, this ashram was made for you and me. The therapies here invite everyone to return to natural harmony. Each treatment from Abhyanga to Shirodhara feels like a verse of surrender, a rhythm of relaxation. Gurudev says that health is not the absence of disease, but the presence of ease, and here that ease hums through herbs, oils, and chants. Now, from a Vedic Dhammasasthan perspective, Panchakarma represents the Pancha Mahabhuta Shuddhi, purification of the five elements in the body. Ancient rishis have prescribed these methods not merely for physical detox, but for spiritual refinement. The ashram's center is located near sacred water bodies, aligning with Ayurvedic texts that recommend healing in naturally energized environments. So, yes, it's not a clinic, it's a temple of restoration where nature, knowledge, and devotion meet. Now, the Gurukul children are often seen chanting in the early hours. How do they embody the song's youthful spirit? Their voices are like the sunrise of the ashram. Each morning, when they chant the Vedas or sing bhajans, it feels like the line, "The sun comes shining as I was strolling." They grow up amidst the song of belonging, studying science, Sanskrit, mantras, Veda, and Seva alike. Their innocence bridges the ancient and the modern, reminding us that spirituality is not an escape from the world, but a better way of living in it. Now, Gurukul revives the Vedic education system, where learning is a holistic combining Vedic math and meditation, mantra, math, and meditation. When children chant, the sound waves purify the air. The ashram's design ensures that these vibrations spread across the valley. The Gurukul symbolizes Brahmacharya Ashrama, the foundation of a disciplined joy. The song says a sense that the land belongs to everyone is expressed here as knowledge for all. The amphitheater hosts grand satsangs. How does that space embody the communal spirit of this ashram as your ashram? When thousands gather there with the candles and songs, the amphitheater becomes a living embodiment of your land, my land. No one asks who you are, only did you sing today. Each bhajan connects hearts beyond language. It's a unity through melody. When Gurudev's voice rises in silence or laughter, you feel heaven descend to earth. That amphitheater is our open sky of joy. Architecturally, it mirrors ancient Yagyashala, circular open to the sky, allowing sound to rise and merge with the elements in Vedic symbolism. Collective chanting is a form of yagya, offering sound vibrations for global harmony. The amphitheater is thus a sacred soundscape, echoing this ashram was made for you and me. Now, could you share how the Gaushala fits into this musical geography of the ashram? The Gaushala is the ashram's gentle rhythm section. The cows, calm and nurturing, represent simplicity and abundance. Their presence brings a grounding energy when one walks past during evening bhajans. The bells on their necks seem to join the music. It reminds us that nature and devotion are inseparable in Vedic tradition. The cow is the Kamadhenu, the wish fulfilling mother. The Gaushala preserves sacred breeds and honors the principle of ahimsa. The environment is built on ancient scripts, peaceful, sattvic, and sustainable. As in the song where every forest and stream belongs to all, here every living being is respected as divine expression. Now, how does the Sri Sri Publication Trust or the Rishi Mukh building or the Art of Living magazine building contribute to the ashram's intellectual and creative spirit? Yes, Rishimukh is like the song's stands of wisdom. Many art of living programs, teacher trainings, and knowledge sessions begin there. It carries the energy of lively exchange, laughter, learning, transformation. If Vishalakshi Mantav is the heart, Rishimukh is the brain of the ashram. Now, Rishimukh literally means face of the Rishi. In the Ramayana, it's where Hanuman met Lord Rama for the first time, symbolizing the meeting of seeker and divine. Divine, fittingly, the building hosts the dialogues where ancient knowledge meets modern expression. It's the intellectual resonance of this ashram is your ashram. Now, the song talks of wheat fields waving. How is that reflected in the ashram's gardens and farms? Our garden stands in the wind just like those fields, tulsi, marigold, vegetables, herbs, all swing with the same rhythm. Volunteers sow, water, and harvest together. It's seva turned into ecology. Each plant carries the vibration of chants and laughter. Now, Vedic texts emphasize Bhumi Devi Puja, honoring earth before cultivation. The ashrams' organic farms follow lunar calendars, traditional composting, and rituals that sanctify the soil. The waving fields here aren't just crops, they are living hymns of gratitude to Mother Earth, echoing the song's joy. Now, how does the Tapovan area capture the silence within the song? Yes, Jagudev, Tapovan is where words dissolve, the trees whisper ancient secrets, and every breeze carries meditation. It's the inner verse of the song, the quiet between the lines. Meditators often say they feel that time stopped there. Tapovan in Sanskrit means forest of penance. Rishis perform tapasya to merge with the absolute. The ashrams of Tapovan mirrors that seekers retreat into solitude for silence programs. It's the pause that completes the music of this ashram is your ashram. The amphitheater nights glow with lights and chants. How does that atmosphere reflect the song's chorus of unity? During Navratri or Mahashivratri, when lamps light up the hill, you feel the entire world breathe as one. The song's chorus, your home, my home, becomes literal. People from 150 nations sway to Sanskrit chants, the pujas and the humas. The melody doesn't divide, it dissolves identities into bliss. Now, in Vedic yagyas, light symbolizes consciousness. The lamps around Sumeru act like Deepa Archanas, offerings of awareness. It is said that when light and sound unite, divinity manifests. The amphitheater becomes a cosmic altar of togetherness. Now, what's the spiritual significance of the path leading from Vishalakshi Mantap to Dhyan Mandir? It's the song's golden valley. That walk is symbolic from knowledge to experience, from head to heart. As you move downhill, these schools sound soften, and your mind naturally turns inward. It's the ashram's most meditative pathway. Now, the alignment is intentional according to Vastu. Energy flows from east or illumination to west or introspection. The mandap represents jnana or knowledge, while dhyana mandir represents anubhava or experience. Walking between them is a pilgrimage of consciousness. Now, how do visitors experience the freedom highway mentioned in the final verse of the song here at the ashram? That highway is when people arrive burdened by stress or questions and leave light or freer. The Freedom Highway here is the journey from breath to being. Sudarshan Kriya opens the road for everyone. In the Vedic sense, liberation or moksha is the ultimate freedom. The ashrams' teachings harmonize the ancient pranayama techniques with modern science, giving seekers access to that eternal highway within. No external gate or guard can block that path. Now, how does the Vishalakshi Mandap embody the idea of this ashram is your ashram, similar to how this land is your land celebrates unity? Vishalakshi Mandap stands as a radiant symbol of inclusiveness. Just as the song This Land is Your Land opens its arms to every traveler, Vishalakshi Mandap welcomes every seeker regardless of nationality, faith, caste, culture, religion, background. When devotees step inside, they feel an instant belongingness. The circular architecture represents wholeness and the interconnectedness of all life. The air resonates with chants, music, and silence, all coexisting harmoniously. Gurudev designed it not merely as a structure but as a vibration of oneness. When thousands meditate together under its dome, you feel that this indeed is everyone's home, an ashram beyond walls and borders. Now, from a Vedic perspective, Vishalakshi Mantap is like the sacred heart of the ashram. The name Vishalakshi, the divine mother with the vast eyes, symbolizes an all seeing compassion. The mantra blends the ancient temple design with the modern aesthetics, aligning energies with Vastu and the cosmic directions. When Rudra Pujas, Navratri Homas, and Yagyas are performed here, they purify the environment for all beings. It's not just a meditation hall, it's the living embodiment of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, reminding us that this sacred land, this ashram, truly belongs to all. Now, what is the significance of the Dhyana Mandir where Gurudev often sits in silence during Navratri? Yes, the Dhyana Mandir is the still point around which all the dynamism of the ashram revolves. During Navratri, when Gurudev observes silence, thousands gather, yet an inexplicable stillness envelops everyone. The mandir, set amidst a serene greenery, becomes a sacred echo chamber of inner peace. Just as the lyrics of This Land is Your Land reminds us that beauty lies in simplicity, Dhanvandi reminds us that divinity lies in silence. Every pebble around it feels alive with meditation. The fragrance of flowers, the ringing of temple bells, and the hush of a collective silence together create a full feel of transcendence. Architecturally and spiritually, Dhyan Mandir mirrors the Vedic principle of Antarmona, the inner silence. The very space is built according to sacred geometry, channeling prana inwards during Rudra Puja or Navratri. The vibrations generated here are immeasurable. It is said that meditating near Gurudev multiplies one's inner stillness manifold. The mandir thus serves as a spiritual battery, recharging seekers to spread peace in the world. It stands as the embodiment of this ashram is your ashram, where each person finds stillness within, like a drop, realizing it is the ocean itself. Now, can you describe the Sumeru Hill and why it is often called the spiritual crown of the ashram? Climbing Sumeru Hill feels like ascending into silence. Each step upwards is symbolic, moving from worldly noise to divine quiet. At the top, the cool breeze carries the chants from the mandap below, and the panorama view of the ashram feels like a vision of unity, yoga, seva, knowledge, and devotion, all harmoniously coexisting. Sumeru is the ashram's mountain of balance, like the Sumeru mentioned in the Puranas, the axis of the universe. Standing there, one realizes just as in this land is your land, that the beauty of the world belongs to everyone. Now, in Vedic cosmology, Mount Sumeru is the sacred center of all creation, the axis mundi around which the universe revolves. Our Sumeru hill holds that essence. The Sri Sri temple at its peak faces the Vishalakshi mantra below, symbolizing the connection between heaven and earth, Shiva and Shakti. During sunrise and sunset, priests perform simple prayers that link all the rituals of the day. The location radiates sattva, purity, and balance. It's a place of introspection where seekers feel grounded yet uplifted. Sumeru reminds every visitor that the spiritual journey is upward yet inclusive for all beings. Now, what role does the Annapurna kitchen play in the spirit of community and service within the ashram? Yes, Jagadav, the Annapurna kitchen is the heart that nourishes the ashram's body. Thousands of volunteers work joyfully, cooking not just food but love. When you walk in, you can sense devotion in every aroma. The kitchen runs on seva, selfless service, where people from different cultures cut vegetables together share stories, and laugh. Eating in silence in the dining hall becomes an act of gratitude. It mirrors this land is your land, where no one is excluded. The food unites all, breaking barriers of race, religion, or status. Everyone eats the same simple sattvic meal, prasad of the Divine Mother. Now, in our Vedic tradition, Annapurna Devi is revered as the goddess who grants nourishment to all beings. Feeding others is one of the highest forms of dharma, Annadanam Mahadanam. The ashram's kitchen embodies this ideal on a grand scale, from yagyas to youth leadership training, from villagers to international guests, all are fed equally. The kitchen operates on sustainability and prayerful mindfulness, using organic produce grown on the ashram's land. Each grain of rice here becomes sacred when offered with love. Annapurna Kitchen is a living yagya, transforming food into devotion and service into liberation. Now, how do the gardens and natural surroundings contribute to the ashram's musical spirit? Gurudev, the ashram sings not just through bhajans but through nature itself. Every morning, birds become the first musicians, followed by the breeze rustling through people leaves, and then the rhythmic chants arising from meditation halls. The entire environment becomes an orchestra. When you walk through the gardens, you feel the lyrics of "This land is your land," that the earth itself hums with belongingness. Gurudev often says nature is not outside of you, it is part of you. In the ashram, this truth comes alive. The trees, flowers, and lakes all meditate in silence, offering music to the soul. Now, in the Vedas, it is mentioned that nature corresponds and responds to sacred vibrations. When mantras are chanted, even plants and animals feel harmony. The ashram's landscape has been designed to flow with the five elements of water, air, fire, earth, and space. Each garden corresponds to a certain deity or aspect of consciousness. Walking barefoot on the dewy grass is like mini pranayama, grounding, cleansing, rejuvenating. Every festival here, Navratri, Guru Purnima, Shivratri, integrates nature. The ashram teaches us to live in ecological and spiritual balance, echoing the timeless refrain, this sacred land is truly your land. Now, what is the significance of Rishimukh in the daily life of the ashram? Yes, Jagodev, the Rishimukh building or the Art of Living magazine building or the Shishi Publication Trust building is more than an administrative center. It's the heartbeat of coordination, creativity, and seva. It's where the vision of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji manifests into action. Volunteers from every corner of the world work here with a smile that comes from inner silence. There is no sense of hierarchy, just purpose. Rishimukh reflects the same spirit as this land is your land, where everyone contributes equally to the whole. Every email sent, every course organized, every plan discussed here is infused with the consciousness. It's not office work, it is meditation in motion. Gurudev often reminds us that when work is done with love and awareness, it becomes worship. Now, in Vedic symbolism, Rishimukh refers to the sacred mountain where Hanuman first met Lord Rama. It's a place of recognition, devotion, and service. Similarly, our Rishimukh building is where seekers recognize their dharma, their service to humanity. It represents the meeting point of wisdom and action. The structure itself follows Vastu principles, balancing energy for clarity and efficiency. Inside, one feels a subtle stillness even amidst activity. This is Karma Yoga in its purest form, work without attachment. Just as Rishimukh in Ramayana marked the beginning of Lord Ram's journey to find Mata Sita, this Rishimukh inspires seekers to rediscover their higher purpose. Now, how does the Goshala or the cow shelter connect the ancient Vedic traditions with modern environmental care? The Goshala is a place where compassion breathes. Each cow here is treated like family, a living embodiment of gentleness and abundance. Spending time here is deeply meditative. The soft, mooing, and rhythmic chewing of cows create a vibration of calmness for many volunteers. Serving in the Goshala is like reconnecting with the forgotten roots of coexistence. The cow has always symbolized nurturing. The same spirit echoed in this land is your land, where the earth herself nourishes us selflessly. Gurudev often says that serving cows increases sattva, purity, and sensitivity toward all life forms. The Gaushala thus becomes a temple of gratitude and ecological awareness. According to the Vedas, the cow is the Kamadhenu, the wish fulfilling mother of all beings. Protecting her sustains dharma itself. Our Gaushala follows traditional Ayurvedic methods using cow dung, urine, and ghee in homas, medicines, and organic farming. This practice connects spiritual reverence with the scientific sustainability. Each cow is named blessed and cared for by volunteers. The energy here is serene, even performing simple tasks like feeding grass feels sacred. Through the Gaushala, the ashram re-establishes the ancient bond between humans and nature, showing that spirituality is not only about meditation but also about harmonious living with every creature on this land. Now, can you explain the role of Panchakarma Center in healing both body and consciousness? The Panchakarma Center is where science meets silence. People from across the globe come here seeking relief from stress, disease, and fatigue. But when they experience what they experience goes deeper than physical detox, it's a renewal of consciousness. Treatments are performed in a serene atmosphere with mantras playing softly in the background. Each therapy is personalized, yet all are rooted in the same principle, bringing balance. The healing here doesn't just happen through oils or herbs, it happens through love, presence, and energy. This land is your land reminds us of belongingness. Similarly, the Panchakarma Center reminds every guest that health is our birthright and harmony is our nature. Now, in Ayurveda, Panchakarma is the supreme purification process, removing toxins from the five elements within the body. Our Sri Sri Panchakarma follows authentic Vedic procedures guided by expert Vaidyas. The space itself is built as a Yagyashala of healing using sacred geometry, herbs, chants, and natural light. Before each therapy, prayers are offered to Dhanvantari, the divine physician. The integration of Vedic knowledge with the modern facilities here shows that ancient wisdom is timeless. When one undergoes panchakarma, it's not merely physical cleansing, it's a return to one's original pure state of being. This center thus stands as a living example of Veda in action. Now, how do the Seva projects around the ashram reflect the song's message of equality and care for all? Jagadav Seva is the melody that runs through every aspect of Ashram's life, from rural education to river rejuvenation. Volunteers engage in countless acts of service. What makes it unique is the joy with which it is done, no expectation, no ego. Gurudev says service is the expression of love. Like this land is your land, Seva here transcends barriers. A young engineer and an elderly villager may work side by side, cleaning a lake or teaching children. The spirit of belongingness flows effortlessly. In giving, we receive. In serving, we find ourselves. Every project is not a charity, it's a celebration. Now, the Vedas declares paropakaratam idam shariram. This body is meant for serving others. The ashrams seva projects manifest this wisdom, whether it's a disaster relief, environmental conservation, or healthcare camps. All are done as offerings to the divine. The Yagya spirit of giving without expecting is alive here. Even the rituals we perform, like a Rudra Homa or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam Homa, are dedicated to universal welfare. The ashram teaches that spirituality and social service are inseparable. Both aim to dissolve the boundaries of mine and yours. When seva becomes sadhana, every action turns sacred and every piece of land becomes a holy ground. Now, what is the role of music and bhajans in creating the ashram's atmosphere of oneness? Music is the soul's language here. Every evening, the ashram comes alive with bhajans that melt hearts and dissolve differences. People from different countries, speaking different tongues, sing the same divine names together. This is where this land is your land finds as a truest echo, the music of unity. When thousands chant Om Namah Shivaya or Jai Jai Radharaman Hari Bol, the air vibrates with the belongingness. Music here is in performance. It's where Gurudev's presence adds a depth, where sound becomes silence and silence becomes music. It's a reminder that divinity can be felt in every note and breath. Now, in the Vedic tradition, Nada Brahma, the universe itself is sound. Music was always considered a means to elevate consciousness. The ashrams' bhajans follow this principle, blending ancient ragas with modern melodies. During pujas, the rhythmic chanting of mantras aligns the mind with cosmic vibrations. Each instrument, tabla, flute, harmonium, represents one element of nature. When played in harmony, they balance energies. Music thus becomes a yajna of joy. It purifies the space and uplifts all who listen. The bhajans remind us that sacredness is not confined to rituals. It lives in sound, silence, and the shared joy of every beating heart. Now, how does the Vishalakshi Mantap symbolize the spirit of unity and diversity? Vishalakshi Mantap, the crown jewel of the Ashram International Art of Living International Center, stands as a monument of serenity and inclusiveness. The structure, named after Gurudev's mother Amma Vishalakshi, means the one who with a vast vision. It perfectly embodies the spirit of this land is your land, a place where everyone from all walks of life. The mandap's seven-tier dome represents the seven chakras, guiding one's awareness from the material to the spiritual. People from over 150 countries have meditated under its roof, finding silence that connects their hearts beyond borders. The circular desire ensures no one sits ahead or behind. Its equality in architecture when bhajans resound within, the hall transforms into a cosmic womb of peace. Each breath there feels like belonging to something universal beyond religion, race, or language. Now, the Vishalakshi mantra follows sacred Vastu and Shilpa traditions of temple architecture. Each pillar and curve has a Vedic intention to channel prana or life force harmoniously. The seven levels correspond to the seven lokas of existence, reminding visitors that the divine pervades every layer of creation. At the center, the lotus carving symbolizes purity amidst the worldly chaos. The rituals and the pujas and the homas and global meditation sessions held here are extensions of ancient yagyas performed for universal harmony. It's not just a structure but a living mandala of peace. In Vedic thought, Vishalakshi is another name for Devi Parvati, compassion personified. Thus, the mandap unites devotion, beauty, and inclusivity, radiating a message: this ashram is for you and me. Now, what role does the Dhyana Mandir play in the spiritual practices of the ashram? Yes, Segura, the Dhyan Mandir is the quiet heart of the ashram, set beside the lotus pond and the Vishalakshi Mandap and enveloped by tall trees. It invites seekers to sink into stillness. Meditation here feels timeless. Every morning, practitioners sit in silence, connecting to the collective consciousness of thousands who have meditated before them. Gurudev often says meditation is a journey from sound to silence, from movement to stillness. In the Dhyana Mandir, this journey becomes effortless. The space resonates with the vibrations of Rudra Puja and Vedic chanting performed daily, like this land is your land. The Dhyan Mandir reminds us that peace belongs to everyone. It is our shared inner land. Here, boundaries dissolve, and one tastes the freedom that is beyond words. Now, the Dhyan Mandir is constructed following precise Vastu and Shastra guidelines to enhance pranic flow and stillness. The mandir faces the east, inviting the first rays of Surya each morning, symbolizing awakening. The sanctum within is designed with granite and sandalwood interiors to retain sound energy during chants. It hosts Rudrabhishekams, Devi Puja, and Navratri Homas, and also sometimes Shivratri Pujas and Homas, linking daily meditation with Vedic ritual energy. The geometry of the space creates a natural resonance, amplifying mantras. For the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan, this is not just a meditation hall, it's a living temple of consciousness. Every mantra uttered here serves not just personal peace, but the collective evolution of humanity. Now, how do the Sumeru Mattam or the Sumeru Hills contribute to the spiritual geography of the ashram? Yes, at Sumeru Mattam or the Sumeru Hills, the highest point of the ashram is where earth meets sky in silence. From the top, one can see the Vishalakshi Mantra below, glowing like a jewel. It's a perfect metaphor for the spiritual journey. From the base of activity to the summit of stillness, every evening devotees climb the Sumeru steps, chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, feeling their awareness rise with each chant. It is said that every step here burns karma and lifts consciousness. The gentle breeze, the sacred atmosphere, and the view of the Dhyan Mandir creates an atmosphere and experience of vastness. It is as if the entire world converges into peace. Like the refrain of this land is your land, the Sumeru Hill reminds everyone this sky, this air, the silence belongs equally to all. Now, in Vedic cosmology, Mount Sumeru is the axis mundi, the spiritual center of the universe. The Sumeru on top of the Sumeru hill in the ashram represents the cosmic spine. At its summit stands the Guru Paduka, symbolizing reverence for the lineage of wisdom. Yatras and meditations held here follow the Vedic tradition of pilgrimage to sacred peaks like Kailasha. The hills' alignment with the cardinal directions is intentional. It channels cosmic energies during sunrise and sunset. Chanting mantras while ascending activates the chakras, mirroring internal ascent. From this vantage, one understands the unity of creation, the same essence in stone, tree, and self. The Sumeru Hills thus serve as a living altar where devotion meets the infinity. Now, how does the Annapurna kitchen reflect the spirit of abundance and equality? Annapurna kitchen is one of the ashram's most inspiring spaces. Thousands of visitors, monks, students, villagers, and global guests eat together here daily. There are no separate lines or privileges. Everyone is served the same pure sattvic food made with love. The kitchen operates like a meditation. Each vegetable is cut with mantra, each meal cooked as an offering to the divine. It's not just about feeding bodies, it's about feeding souls. Gurudev often says, when you eat with awareness, food becomes prasad. This kitchen embodies that truth that like this land is your land. Annapurna reminds us that Bodhisattva's bounty is meant for all. Eating here is an experience of unity, taste, gratitude, and togetherness become one sacred act. Now, the Vedas revere food as Brahma Swarupa, a direct manifestation of the divine. The name Annapurna itself refers to the goddess of nourishment who grants abundance and satisfaction. In this kitchen, the principles of Ahara Shuddhi or purity of food and Mantra Samskara, spiritual infusion, are practiced meticulously. Before every meal, prayers are offered. Brahmarpanam Brahmahaviha, the food is cooked in massive copper vessels to retain pranic energy, and solar steam systems honor ecological dharma. Serving food here is considered sacred seva. Every morsel served and received becomes an act of gratitude. Annapurna kitchen thus transforms the daily necessity into a Vedic yajna of giving, symbolizing equality and reverence for all beings. Now, what role does the Gurukul play in preserving India's ancient knowledge systems? Yes, the Sri Sri Gurukul revives India's timeless education model, where learning is not confined to books but blossoms in the presence of a guru. Children study Sanskrit, Vedas, yoga, mathematics, music, and environmental science together. What is special is their innocence and discipline. They begin their day with chanting and meditation, followed by seva in the gardens or Gaushala. This holistic learning develops the compassion, clarity, and confidence in their eyes. You see a generation rooted in tradition yet ready for the modern world. This land is your land celebrates belonging. The Gurukul nurtures belonging to wisdom itself. It's where the seed of Sanatan Dharma continues to bloom, creating citizens of peace for the world. The Gurukul follows the Gurukul Parampara as described in ancient texts like the Taittiriya Upanishads. The education here is experiential. Students learn through chanting, contemplation, and living values. The curriculum integrates Vedic sciences such as Jyotish, Ayurveda, and Shilpa Shastra with contemporary subjects. Each class begins with the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra, Upanayana Sanskar, Trikal Sandhya, aligning intellect with the divine illumination. Students participate in temple rituals, learning the deeper meaning behind each mantra. The Gurukul thus serves as a bridge between ancient wisdom and modern relevance. It ensures that Vedic traditions are not relics of the past but living streams of consciousness guiding the present and future. Now, how does the amphitheater at the Art of Living International Center embody cultural and spiritual celebration? The amphitheater is where the ashram breathes music, dance, and joy into the open sky. It's not just a stage, it's a sacred circle where creativity becomes worship. People from different nations perform classical dances, Vedic chants, or soulful world music, merging diverse cultures into one harmonious rhythm. Under the stars, with the fragrance of jasmine and the cool breeze from the Sumeru Mantap, every performance turns meditative. The audience doesn't merely watch, they experience Gurudev's presence transforms the space. Every song becomes a prayer, every movement an offering. This land is your land, echoes here as the world is our family. The amphitheater embodies Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, where spirituality and art unite, reminding us that divine expression has many languages but one heart. Now, in a Vedic civilization, art was never separate from sadhana. The amphitheater reflects this ancient concept of Natya Yajna, the offering of art to the divine. The semicircular design is based on the Shilpa Shastra principle of Mandal Natya Graha, ensuring sound travels naturally without electronic amplification. During Navratri, classical performances and Vedic recitations blend seamlessly, where Bharatnatyam meets Rudram chanting. Each act begins with the invocation of Nataraja, the cosmic dancer. The amphitheater thus becomes a confluence of sacred art, culture, and spiritual refinement. It reminds every performer that art is not entertainment, it is enlightenment through aesthetics. Now, how do the ashram gardens and landscapes enhance meditation and ecological balance? Walking through the ashram gardens feels like walking through a living poem. Frangipani, tulsi, and hibiscus bloom alongside serene ponds where lotuses float in silence. These gardens are tended by volunteers, many of whom meditate before planting or pruning. So every leaf carries a vibration of love. Gurudev often says the outer environment reflects the inner environment. As the gardens flourish, so does inner peace. The air feels charged with the prana, inviting one to sit and simply breathe. Just like in this land is your land, these gardens symbolize harmony with nature, a space where humans' hands serve the earth, not exploited. Meditation here becomes effortless. Even bird song feels like part of one's mantra. Now, the landscaping follows ancient Vedic guidelines of Vriksha Ayurveda and Pancha Mahabhuta balance like earth, water, fire, air, and space. Trees are chosen not only for beauty but for their medicinal and spiritual significance. People neem banyan trees purify the air and generate subtle spiritual vibrations. Pathways are aligned with the sun's movement to balance energy flow. Small shrines dedicated to Navagrahas and local deities integrate ecology with divinity. The gardens are thus an extension of the Yagya spirit where caring for nature becomes ritual. Each plant, each drop of dew participates in the sacred ecology of the ashram, teaching all that protecting nature is itself a form of worship. Now, how does a satsang hall in a Dhyan Mandir or Vishalakshmi Mandap or amphitheater connect thousands of hearts through sound and silence? Yes, the satsang hall is where music, meditation, and laughter dissolve boundaries. When thousands gather at sunset, singing bhajans led by Gurudev, the energy becomes indescribable. Joy flows like a river. People cry, dance, and smile all at once. Then, with a single wave of Gurudev's hand, everything falls silent. That silence, alive, deep, collective, is the essence of satsang. It's not just singing, it's a communion. The hall mirrors the message of this land is your land. Unity amidst diversity. People from over 150 countries sing in one rhythm, one heart. In that space, you realize you belong not to a nation of faith, but to the universal song of life. The satsang tradition originates from the Vedas, where seekers assembled for Sabha and Samaveda, collective dialogue and song in the presence of rishis. The hall's acoustics and circular design allow mantras to reverberate harmoniously during Rudra Puja or Devi Homas. Chants are synchronized with the bhajans, linking emotion with devotion. The entire environment becomes a Nada Yagya, a sacred ritual of sound. When silence follows the chant, it represents Anahat Nada, the unstruck cosmic sound. Thus, the hall serves both spiritual and scientific purpose. It attunes body, mind, and space. Every evening here, as lamps flicker and chants rise, the ancient spirit of Vedic gatherings revives in a modern form. Now, what is the spiritual and social role of the ashrams as rural development projects nearby? Beyond its serene boundaries, the ashram extends its compassion to surrounding villages, to numerous rural upliftment programs, clean water projects, organic farming, solar electrification, and women's self help groups have transformed local lives. Volunteers teach meditation, hygiene, and education with equal devotion. The true beauty lies in empowerment, not a charity. Villagers feel the ashram is theirs, it's their land of light. This land is your land finds perfect reflection here, where prosperity and spirituality walk hand in hand. Gurudev emphasizes that spirituality must express as service. So every project, be it tree planting or skill training, is infused with care, dignity, and belongingness. The spirit of Seva Paramo Dharma, service is a supreme duty, guides these initiatives. The Vedic Dharma Sansthan provides traditional knowledge on sustainable agriculture, rainwater harvesting, and herbal medicine, blending it with the modern methods. Yagyas are conducted in these villages for purification of land and consciousness. The relationship between the ashram and villages is reciprocal. The people contribute devotion and simplicity while the ashram offers education and empowerment. This fusion creates a living model of dharmic society as envisioned in the Vedic scriptures, a community rooted in spiritual values, social harmony, and ecological responsibility. Now, how does the ashram inspire international visitors to experience Indian spirituality authentically? Every week, hundreds of visitors arrive from across the world scientists, artists, students, and seekers, all drawn by Gurudev's message of peace. The moment they step into the ashram, they sense something unique, an atmosphere both ancient and alive. They learn Sudarshan Kriya, attend satsangs, and participate in seva. Many describe it as coming home. They discover that spirituality isn't about religion, but about connection with the self, others, and nature. This land is your land transforms here into this world is your ashram. In every smile, every shared meal, every day experience the essence of India. not as a concept but as a living wisdom. Now, the Vedic Samsthan ensures that international guests experience authentic Vedic rituals with understanding. Translators explain the meaning of mantras during Rudra Puja or Homa. Guests often participate by offering flowers or chanting simple verses. The cultural exchange extends to learning yoga, Ayurveda, and learning Sanskrit chanting. In doing so, they become part of a tradition that transcends borders. The ashrams' global programs in over 180 countries are rooted in this very authenticity. Visitors carry the vibration of this land back home, turning every corner of the earth into a reflection of the sacred centers of peace and unity. Now, how does the Vishalakshmi Mandap reflect the idea of this ashram is your ashram through its architecture and energy? Yes, the Vishalakshmi Mandap is like the heart of the ashram. Its architecture is a hymn in stone. Each of its tiers represents the seven chakras, guiding one from the material to the spiritual plane. When devotees sit inside, the circular design naturally draws their attention inward. Gurudev often says that energy flows where attention goes. The structure itself is built to facilitate that journey. The openness of the manta with no closed walls reminds us that the ashram belongs to everyone. Like the song, This Ashram is Your Ashram, you feel welcome not as a visitor but as a part of the whole. Now, in the Vedic sense, the mandap is not just a meditation hall, it's a living yantra, a geometrical manifestation of divine energy. The lotus shaped structure mirrors the Sahasrara chakra, symbolizing enlightenment. Thousands meditate here daily and during Rudra Puja on Navratri. Its dome resonates with Vedic chants that purify the environment for miles. Just as the song celebrates unity and belonging, the mandap dissolves all boundaries, caste, culture, or creed, radiating the message this ashram is your home. Now, what role does the Dhyan Mandir play in embodying the spirit of peace described in the song? The Dhyan Mandir is a pure silence. It's not just a meditation hall, it's the womb of stillness. During Navratri or any major festival, thousands sit there in deep meditation and the energy is tangible. Gurudev has spent countless silent hours there and his silence infuses the place. When you step in your breath slows, thoughts quiet, and you sense eternity within. In the song's spirit, this ashram was made for you and me. The mandir reminds us that peace is not a privilege, it's everyone's birthright. Architecturally, the Dhyan Mandir faces the east direction of the rising sun, symbolizing awakening. Its design follows Vastu principles, allowing energy to circulate without obstruction. During Rudra Pujas, the chants merge with the silence of meditation, creating a rare balance between sound and stillness, Shabda Brahma and Ashabda Brahma. The mandir's energy field extends across the ashram, influencing even the nearby lakes and hills. It's why visitors often say, here silence speaks. The song's sense, unity, openness, and peace echoes to every corner of the Dhyan Mandir. Now, the Sumeru Mandap is frequently mentioned in songs and satsangs. What makes it so special? The Sumeru Hill is the ashram's crown jewel. It's where satsangs take place under the open sky, or used to take place in the past with thousands singing in unison. When Gurudev used to walk up during the evening bhajan, time seemed to stop. The view of the sunset, the chants, the smiles, it's pure magic. The hill represents elevation not only in geography but also in consciousness. The song's line from Sumeru summit to Panchakarma zone captures this transition from outer joy to inner cleansing. Now, in Vedic cosmology, Mount Sumeru is the center of all universes, the axis of divine order. The Sumeru Mandap at the ashram symbolizes that cosmic balance. During yajnas or homas, priests stand facing Sumeru, recognizing it as a spiritual anchor. It is believed that the hill itself has been energized through years of tapas and chanting. When people sing this ashram is your ashram here, it's not mere poetry, it's a living vibration of oneness with nature, sound, and consciousness. Every rock and tree seems to echo Jai Gurudev. Now, how does the Annapurna kitchen contribute to the ashram's atmosphere of seva and inclusivity? Jagadev, the Annapurna kitchen feeds thousands every day, seekers, volunteers, guests, and workers alike. No one is turned away. It's run purely on seva love in action. The food carries such positive energy that even a simple meal feels nourishing. Gurudev says food cooked in silence and gratitude becomes prasad. In the context of the song, the kitchen represents the soul of This ashram is your ashram, no barriers, only belonging. Annapurna Devi is revered in the Vedas as a goddess who provides nourishment to the body and soul. The ashram's kitchen is a manifestation of her grace. The rituals before cooking, lighting the lamp, chanting mantras, and offering the first serving to the divine make every meal sacred. Even the waste is composted in harmony with dharma and ecology. The kitchen operates like a living temple where food becomes an offering and service becomes worship. The fragrance of purity that wafts from there is part of the ashram's spiritual signature. Now, the Panchakarma Center is known globally. How does it align with the song's vision of harmony and healing? The Panchakarma Center is where science meets spirituality. Here, Ayurvedic therapies are infused with meditation and pranayama, creating a holistic healing space. People come from all over the world, from corporate leaders to monks, and find rejuvenation. The therapists work not just with oils and herbs, but with compassion. This is exactly what the song celebrates, from Panchakarma streams to Vishalakshi Dome. Each corner of the ashram flows with a healing energy. Now, Ayurveda calls Panchakarma the purification of the five elements within. The center's location beside flowing water and sacred grooves enhances its healing power. Every herb used is sanctified with mantras. The therapies are synchronized with the lunar calendar, following ancient Vedic timing. When the body is cleansed, the mind naturally turns inward, aligning with the spirit of the ashram song that says, "This place and this peace was made for you and me." Healing here is not transactional, it is transformational. Now, how does the Gurukul at the Art of Living International Center preserve traditional knowledge while preparing students for the modern world? The Gurukul is a living bridge between ancient wisdom and contemporary education. Children here study Sanskrit, Vedas, yoga, music, and modern subjects like mathematics and science. Each day begins with meditation and chanting, instilling discipline and mindfulness. Gurudev emphasizes that learning is not merely about acquiring information but about developing character, awareness, and compassion. Like the song, "This land is your land," the Gurukul embodies inclusion. Every child, regardless of background, is nurtured equally. The campus layout promotes harmony with nature. Classrooms overlook gardens and lotus ponds, making learning a sensory and spiritual experience. Students participate in seva, tending to plants or feeding cows, understanding that knowledge and service are inseparable. Through these practices, the Gurukul cultivates balanced individuals rooted in culture yet ready to contribute meaningfully to the world. Now, the Gurukul is modeled on the ancient Gurukul Parampara, where education was holistic and experiential. Every activity, from reciting the Gayatri Mantra to participating in Navratri rituals, is designed to cultivate awareness and discipline. The curriculum integrates Vedic studies, Sanskrit, and ethical values with modern pedagogy. Students learn the significance of rituals, the science of mantras, and the wisdom of Ayurveda, alongside mathematics and languages. By preserving these traditions, the Gurukul ensure that India's spiritual heritage remains alive. The children internalize that service or seva, knowledge or jnana, and devotion or bhakti are complementary, preparing them to navigate the modern world with the inner balance. The Gurukul thus transforms learning into living dharma, reflecting the ashram's inclusive philosophy. This Gurukul is your land, this Gurukul is my land. Now, what is the spiritual and ecological significance of the Gaushala in the ashram? Yes, Raghudev, the Gaushala is a sanctuary of compassion and devotion. Each cow here is treated as sacred, with the care taken in feeding, grooming, and nurturing. Volunteers and students participate in seva, feeding the cows and cleaning the shelter. Gurudev often reminds us that service to animals purifies the mind and cultivates empathy. The presence of cows enhances the spiritual vibration of the ashram. Their calm demeanor and rhythmic movements induces a serenity. The Gaushala is also symbolic of abundance. Each cow represents the earth's capacity to nourish. Just as "This Land is Your Land" celebrates their shared resources, visitors often find meditative joy in simply sitting among the cows, absorbing the energy of care, harmony, and sustainability. Now, in Vedic tradition, cows are revered as Kamadhenu, the wish fulfilling mother. The Gaushala follows strict Ayurvedic care, ensuring cows are healthy and content. Cow products like ghee, milk, and dung are used in rituals, organic farming, and panchakarma therapies. The Gaushala exemplifies ecological balance as organic waste is recycled into compost, enriching gardens and food crops. It is also a center for Vedic education. Volunteers learn how ancient wisdom integrates ethical treatment of animals with spiritual practices. By harmonizing devotion, ecology, and education, the Gaushala embodies a microcosm of dharmic society, teaching that caring for life forms is central to personal and planetary well being. Now, how does the Rishimukh function as the operational and spiritual hub of the ashram? Rishimukh serves as the dynamic heart of the ashram where planning, coordination, and seva converge. Volunteers manage problems, schedules, and retreats with love and mindfulness. Gurudev emphasizes that administrative work, when performed with awareness, is a form of meditation. Rishimukh embodies the message of this land is your land. Everyone, regardless of role, contributes equally to the ashram's functioning. The energy here is vibrant yet calm with an underlying sense of purpose. It teaches that spiritual growth is not limited to meditation or pujas. It can be cultivated through conscious action, collaboration, and joyful responsibility. Architecturally, Rishimukh is designed to facilitate energy flow and clarity. It includes spaces for planning, spiritual discussions, and coordination of Vedic programs. Like the Rishimukh in Ramayana, a sacred meeting place of sages. This building represents focus, discipline, and collective dharma. The Vedic Dhamma Sansthan coordinates rituals, yagyas, and courses from here, ensuring alignment with Vedic principles. Volunteers learn that every action from filing schedules to organizing homas can be performed as karma yoga. In essence, Rishimukh embodies the convergence of service, spirituality, and organization, demonstrating that conscious work uplifts the entire ashram community. Now, what role does Tapovan play in providing a serene environment for meditation and learning? Tapovan is a forested retreat within the ashram where seekers immerse themselves in silence and nature. Walking through its trails, one feels a profound connection to the earth, the trees, and the sky. Meditation here is effortless. The rustle of leaves and chirping birds become a natural mantra. Tapovan embodies the song's essence, this land is your land, reminding visitors that nature is a shared inheritance. Students, volunteers, and visitors often spend hours here in reflective practice, journaling, or silent contemplation. The space nurtures mental clarity, emotional stability, and spiritual insight, providing a balance between inner growth and environmental appreciation. Now, Tapovan is planned according to Vedic ecological principles. Native trees, medicinal plants, and sacred groves are preserved to maintain biodiversity and pranic balance. Meditation platforms and small shrines are integrated without disturbing the natural landscape. The location's energy is believed to enhance concentration and intuition, making it ideal for retreats, yoga sessions, and chanting. Rituals like Vani Yagya are occasionally performed here to honor the sacredness of the forest. Tapovan exemplifies Vedic harmony where human presence enhances rather than disturbs nature, creating a living laboratory for spiritual practice and ecological mindfulness. Now, how do the Vedic Sansthan halls support ritual, education, and cultural preservation? The Vedic Sansthan halls are spaces of learning, devotion, and community. Here, workshops on Sanskrit, Vedic rituals, yoga, and cultural arts take place alongside daily pujas and homas. Visitors witness the integration of education and practice, experiencing that knowledge is most potent when applied in life. The halls embody the spirit of this land is your land, a place where everyone, whether local or international, can participate, learn, and belong. The energy is both vibrant and contemplative. The architecture subtly encourages focus and reverence, allowing the mind to absorb teachings deeply. Now, each hall is designed according to Vastu Shastra, enhancing energy flow and acoustics for chanting and teaching. Rituals such as Rudrabhishekam, Navgraha Puja, and seasonal homas are conducted with strict adherence to Vedic tradition. Educational sessions on Sanskrit, Vedanta, Ayurveda, and astrology ensure that ancient knowledge is preserved and transmitted to future generations. The halls serve as a hub where learning, devotion, and cultural preservation intersect. By combining architectural precision, ritual sanctity, and pedagogical excellence, the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan halls become living embodiments of Dharma, offering an environment where spiritual, intellectual, and cultural growth coexist harmoniously. Now, how does the ashram amphitheater embody the fusion of spirituality, art, and community? Yes, the amphitheater at the Art of Living International Center is more than a performance space. It's a convergence of devotion, creativity, and collective consciousness. When thousands gather for bhajans, cultural programs, or meditation sessions, energy flows seamlessly through the open design. Gurudev often says that music is a bridge to the divine. Here, every note resonates with gratitude and joy from the traditional Bharatanatyam dance to contemporary spiritual music. The amphitheater encourages participation, unity, and shared celebration. It embodies the essence of this land is your land by welcoming every individual to contribute their unique voice to the chorus of life. The sight of the sunset behind the stage while voices chant and sing evokes a sense of timelessness and belonging. Architecturally, the amphitheater is designed according to Vastu principles to optimize energy circulation and acoustics. Its semicircular arrangement ensures that sound and vibration touch everyone equally during Rudra Puja, Navratri, or Anjane Homas. The chants blend with the performances, transforming the space into a sacred arena of devotion. Volunteers, performers, and visitors experience a sense of collective dharma where art becomes seva. The amphitheater demonstrates that spiritual, cultural, and social activities can coexist harmoniously, reflecting the Vedic principle that service, devotion, and expression are intertwined. Here, the ashram's invitation is clear. Every voice, every heart, and every effort belongs to the greater rhythm of life. Now, how do the ashram lakes contribute to meditation, ecology, and community life? The lakes at the ashram are serene mirrors of the sky, offering both aesthetic beauty and spiritual nourishment. Sitting beside the lotus filled waters, one naturally enters a state of calm and reflection. Gurudev encourages visitors to see the lakes as metaphors for the mind, clear, deep, and receptive. Meditating on the banks, listening to birds and the rustle of leaves, fosters a profound connection to nature. These lakes also host evening rituals and floating lamp ceremonies, turning water into a medium of devotion. In the spirit of this land is your land. The lakes are open for everyone, seekers, volunteers, and villagers alike, embodying inclusion, serenity, and inclusive and collective harmony. Now, the lakes serve ecological as well as spiritual purposes. Native fish and plants support biodiversity, while natural filtration systems maintain water purity. Vedic rituals like Jala Puja and Abhishekam are performed here to honor water as one of the five elements. Surrounding groves and walking paths are designed to integrate meditation, ecological education, and leisure. The lakes exemplify Vriksha Vanajala harmony, a balance of forest, wildlife, and water. Through mindful engagement with the lakes, visitors learn that ecological stewardship is a spiritual responsibility by merging devotion, meditation, and ecology. The ashram demonstrates that caring for nature is an inseparable part of a dharmic life. Now, how do the international programs at the ashram reflect the global vision of this ashram is your ashram? International participants come to the ashram from over 150 countries. The programs of Sudarshan Kriya, meditation workshops, yoga, and cultural immersions are designed to transcend cultural and religious boundaries. Gurudev emphasizes that spirituality is universal. The teachings of breath, silence, and mindfulness belong to all humanity. These programs allow visitors to experience the ashram as their own space, cultivating inner peace while connecting with a global community. The song's theme of belonging resonates here. Everyone is welcomed, everyone contributes, and everyone feels at home. These interactions foster intercultural friendship, shared laughter, and collective growth, making the ashram a microcosm of a united world. Now, Vedic Drums and Son ensures that international programs maintain authenticity while being accessible to global audiences. Translators, guides, and volunteers explain the significance of Vedic rituals, Sanskrit chants, and Ayurvedic practices. Visitors engage in seva, homas, and meditation sessions, creating experiential learning. Beyond personal transformation, these programs promote cross cultural understanding, emphasizing the Vedic principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world as one family. By blending spiritual education, cultural exchange, and practical seva, international programs embody the song's vision, a land, or in this case, an ashram made for everyone to experience, participate, and belong. Now, how does the ashram integrate seva or selfless service into spiritual practice for visitors and residents? Seva at the ashram is a lived meditation. Volunteers clean, cook, plant, and assist with events, all while cultivating mindfulness and gratitude. Gurudev teaches that serving others purifies the heart more than words or rituals alone, whether planting saplings in Tapovan, tending cows in the Gaushala, or distributing meals in Annapurna kitchen. Every act is infused with awareness. This embodies the song's ethos, this land is your land, becomes this ashram is your place of service. Seva transforms ordinary tasks into sacred acts, fostering a deep sense of connection with people, nature, and divinity. It's a powerful practice that merges spirituality with practical life skills, leaving participants transformed in consciousness. Now, from a Vedic perspective, Seva is Karma Yoga, selfless action aligned with Dharma. Every ashram activity is structured to facilitate this integration. Volunteers are trained to approach tasks with mindfulness, respecting the sacredness of each duty. Rituals, homas, and festivals involve collective preparation and execution, teaching participants that devotion extends beyond personal prayer. Through seva, the ashram fosters harmony, discipline, and empathy, demonstrating that service is not optional but integral to spiritual growth. It reinforces the song system that stresses the land, the ashram, and its activities belong to all who seek and serve. Now, how do seasonal festivals like Navratri and Guru Puja reflect community? Yes, they reflect community devotion and joy in the ashram. The festivals at the ashram are a living tapestry of devotion, culture, and community. During Navratri, thousands gather for Rudra Puja, bhajans, and cultural programs. Every lamp lit, every chant recited, and every dance performed is an offering. Gurudev's presence transforms the celebration into a spiritual communion. Visitors, volunteers, and residents feel the joy of shared devotion, creating an atmosphere of inclusivity and reverence. In the spirit of this land is your land. These festivals invite everyone to participate regardless of background, celebrating unity in diversity. The energy, rhythm, and light of the ashram during these times are both overwhelming and deeply meditative. Festivals are structured according to Vedic time cycles, ensuring alignment with the cosmic energies. The Vedic Dhammasana coordinates rituals, homas, and pujas with precision, maintaining the sanctity of traditions while accommodating large gatherings. Cultural programs are integrated with spiritual teachings, allowing participants to experience dharmic values in action. Seasonal festivals thus become holistic experiences, spiritual uplifting, culturally enriching, and socially unifying. They exemplify the ashram's mission to transform spaces into shared sanctuaries of devotion, learning, and community where every individual feels that this sacred land truly belongs to them. Now, how do the ashram gardens reflect the harmony between nature, meditation, and community life? Yes, Jagur, the ashram gardens are not merely ornamental, they are living classrooms of serenity, mindfulness, and ecological balance. Walking through pathways lined with frangipani, tulsi, and hibiscus, one feels a natural rhythm conducive to meditation. Gurudev often encourages visitors to walk mindfully, or observing each leaf, flower, and bird as a reflection of the inner self. The gardens host guided meditation sessions, yoga practices, and even musical events, merging the beauty of nature with the practice of awareness. Just as the song This Land is Your Land celebrates belonging, the gardens extend the sense of inclusion. Every visitor, volunteer, or seeker is welcome to enjoy, serve, and learn from the living environment. The experience instills calm, joy, and a sense of responsibility toward nurturing nature. Now, in line with Vedic ecological principles, the gardens are designed to maintain biodiversity, encourage natural water retention, and purify the air. Trees are strategically planted to enhance pranic energy, while sacred plants like tulsi are used for rituals, meditation, and Ayurvedic purposes. Volunteers participate in garden maintenance as an act of seva, learning that caring for nature is inseparable from caring for oneself. By integrating ecological consciousness, meditation, and service, the gardens serve as microcosms of dharmic living, demonstrating that harmony with nature is central to spiritual practice and community well being. Now, how does the ashram amphitheater host programs that unite spiritual learning and artistic expression? Yes, the amphitheater is a focal point where spiritual learnings meets artistic creativity. Programs like bhajan evenings, classical dance performances, or Q&A session with Gurudev, and musical festivals become collective meditative experiences. Gurudev emphasizes that rhythm, sound, and movement are paths to inner peace and expression of the soul. Yet thousands gather to participate, not merely watch, creating a shared field of energy that is both uplifting and transformative. The design ensures an open view of the sky, allowing participants to feel connected to nature and the cosmos. Like the song's sentiment, this land is your land. The amphitheater welcomes all, creating an inclusive space where cultural diversity and spiritual practice coexist harmoniously. Now, the amphitheater's semicircular design enhances acoustics and energy flow, making it ideal for Vedic chants, bhajans, and musical performances during festivals like Navratri and Hanuman Jayanti. And the Anjane Homas and the Rudra Pujas and Homas are combined with performances to deepen spiritual resonance. Volunteers help organize seating, manage lighting, and maintain order, transforming service into a sacred action. The amphitheater thus exemplifies a Vedic ideal of Natya Yagya, where artistic performance becomes an offering to the divine, creating a powerful collective spiritual experience that unites participants in devotion, learning, and joy. Now, how does the satsang hall facilitate collective meditation and spiritual growth? The satsang hall is where thousands experience collective meditation, chanting, and discourse. Gurudev leads sessions that seamlessly integrate Sudarshan Kriya, silence, and bhajans. Participants report a sense of inner expansion, unity, and emotional release. The hall's design of high ceilings, natural light, and open space amplifies both sound and energy. It embodies the song's essence, a space where everyone feels at home. Sharing in the ashram's spiritual vibrancy, the satsang hall allows individuals to witness devotion collectively, creating an immersive environment where personal and communal growth occur simultaneously. Architecturally, the hall follows Vastu Shastra to optimize energy flow and acoustics. Vedic rituals and homas conducted here utilize sound to harmonize physical and subtle energies. During significant ceremonies, chants and music reverberate throughout, enhancing the spiritual experience. Volunteers and participants learn that collective energy amplifies individual meditation, illustrating the Vedic principle of Sangha Shakti. The Satsang Hall thus serves as a microcosm of the ashram's larger spiritual ecosystem, a place where devotion, education, and community intersect seamlessly. Now, how do the ashram lakes and surrounding green spaces support meditation and ecological balance? The lakes, surrounded by manicured gardens and natural groves, provide a tranquil environment for meditation and reflection. Observing the lotus blossoms and gentle ripples encourages mindfulness and inner stillness. Now, Gurudev often remarks that connecting with water and nature calms the mind and nurtures creativity. Now, the lakes are used for ritualistic offerings, evening aartis, and serene walks, creating a harmonious blend of spiritual practice and ecological appreciation. In line with this land is all, and these spaces are accessible to everyone, providing both aesthetic pleasure and spiritual sustenance. Now, the lakes are carefully maintained for ecological sustainability. Native plants and aquatic species preserve biodiversity, while natural filtration and minimal intervention ensure environmental balance. Rituals like Jala Puja are conducted with sensitivity to ecological principles, honoring water as a sacred element. Walking paths, benches, and meditation platforms encourage interaction with nature without disrupting its balance. The lakes exemplify Vedic integration of devotion, ecology, and community well being, demonstrating that spiritual growth is inseparable from environmental stewardship. Now, how do international visitors experience the ashram's spiritual and cultural offerings? International visitors come to the ashram seeking peace, guidance, and immersion in Indian culture. They participate in meditation programs, Sudarshan Kriya, yoga, and cultural workshops, often reporting profound personal transformation. Gurudev emphasizes that spirituality transcends nationality, language, and religion. Visitors learn that the ashram is not just a place to see, but a space to live and experience. Like the song's chorus, "This land is your land, this land is my land," the ashram becomes a universal home, welcoming all with openness, inclusivity, and respect. Now, the Vedic Dharma Sansthan provides structured programs for international participants, ensuring they understand the significance of Vedic rituals, Sanskrit chants, and meditation techniques. Guided tours of the Gurukul, Panchakarma Center, Tapovan, and Gaushala help them connect with both tradition and practice. Language support, volunteer guidance, and experiential learning facilitate meaningful engagement. By blending education, culture, and spiritual practice, international visitors leave with a deep appreciation for Indian heritage and the ashram's universal values, reinforcing the song's message that this sacred space is for everyone. Now, how does the Rudra Puja at the ashram embody collective devotion and energy? Rudra Puja is a centerpiece of spiritual practice at the ashram, performed at the preside Vedic rituals. Thousands gather to chant, meditate, and offer oblations, creating a powerful field of collective energy. Gurudev explains that the vibrations generated by synchronized chanting purify not only the participants but also the environment. The experience is immersive. The sound of mantras reverberates through halls, gardens, and tapovan, reaching every corner. Like the song's sentiment, "This land is your land," Rudra Puja welcomes all devotees to participate, emphasizing that devotion is universal and the ashram belongs to everyone. Participants often report deep emotional release, inner peace, and a profound sense of unity, experiencing firsthand the transformative power of collective spiritual action. Now, from a Vedic perspective, Rudra Puja aligns energies and balances the five elements. The Vedic Dhammasana ensures precise execution using rituals, homas, and specific mantras to harmonize the environment. Volunteers assist in preparing the sanctum, chanting, and performing seva, learning that service enhances the spiritual potency of rituals. The puja serves a multiple purposes, purifying the atmosphere, invoking divine blessings, and fostering community participation. By blending ritual, education, and collective practice, Rudra Puja embodies the ashram's ethos, a sacred space where every participant is integral to the spiritual rhythm. Now, how does the Anjane Homam at the ashram energize participants and the surroundings? The Anjane Homa or the Hanuman Homa is a powerful ritual invoking courage, strength, and devotion performed daily during festivals or special occasions. It combines fire offerings, Vedic chants, and group meditation. Gurudev emphasizes that fire is a purifier, physical, mental, and spiritual. Participants experience heightened energy, clarity, and resilience as the Homa flames merge with the collective intentions like this land is your land. The Anjane Homa is inclusive, volunteers, devotees, and international participants alike contribute, creating a shared field of sacred energy. The ritual reinforces the ashram's vision that spiritual empowerment and communal harmony are inseparable. Now, the Vedic Dhammasana follows strict protocols for the Homa, selecting auspicious times, mantras, and materials. The fire is maintained carefully, and each offering is synchronized with chanting to maximize energetic impact. Surrounding areas, including tapovan, gardens, and lakes, absorb the vibrations, extending the Homa's influence. Participants are guided in seva, learning that contribution amplifies personal and collective energy. The Anjana Homam exemplifies Vedic principles of devotion, discipline, and service converge to create an environment where courage, clarity, and spiritual strength thrive, reflecting the ashram's message of universal belonging and empowerment. Now, how does the Tapovan enhance meditation experiences for visitors? Tapovan's serene forests, walking trails, and meditation platforms provide an unparalleled environment for introspection and mindfulness. Gurudev often guides groups here, encouraging silent observation of nature, the wind, trees, birds, and sunlight. The experience quiets the mind and fosters deep awareness. In the spirit of this land is your land, Tapovan is open for all, offering both solitude and shared experience. Visitors report profound emotional balance, spiritual insight, and an intimate connection with nature, realizing that mindfulness and ecological awareness are intertwined. Now, Tapovan is carefully maintained to preserve biodiversity, energy flow, and ecological balance. Platforms for yoga and meditation are strategically placed to harmonize with the natural energies, following Vedic principles. Guided sessions in the forest teach participants the significance of mindful presence and interconnectedness with life forms. Regular Vedic ceremonies, including Vana Yagya, sanctify the space. Tapovan demonstrates that meditation is not limited to indoor halls. It flourishes in an environment where nature, consciousness, and dharma coexist harmoniously, offering a living laboratory for spiritual and ecological learning. Now, how does the Panchakarma at the ashram integrate Vedic tradition and modern wellness? The Panchakarma therapies at the ashram rejuvenate body, mind, and spirit using Ayurvedic principles, herbal oils, and mantras. Participants experience detoxification, energy balancing, and mental clarity. Gurudev emphasizes that true wellness is holistic. Body, mind, and consciousness must be harmonized. The serene setting close to gardens, lakes, and tapovan enhances the healing in the song's spirit. The Panchakarma Center is for everyone, welcoming all seekers to experience restoration and empowerment. Now, the Vedic Dhamma ensures authenticity in Panchakarma treatments. Therapists follow Vedic timing, using herbal remedies and sound vibrations to maximize efficacy. Staff is trained to integrate meditation and pranayama, fostering holistic results. The center embodies the principle of Ayurveda as a science of life, balancing doshas and harmonizing energy. Participants leave physically rejuvenated and spiritually elevated, understanding that traditional Vedic wisdom complements modern wellness, reflecting the ashram's inclusive and healing philosophy. Now, how does the Gurukul prepare students for life while grounding them in Vedic values? The Gurukul blends traditional education with the modern learning. Students study Sanskrit, Vedas, meditation, and yoga alongside contemporary subjects. Gurudev stresses character development, mindfulness, and compassion as core lessons. Experiential learning, tending gardens, performing rituals, and participating in seva helps children internalize spiritual values. Like the song says, message, the Gurukul welcomes every child, creating a sense of ownership, belonging, and responsibility toward knowledge and community. Now, following Gurukul Parampara, the Gurukul emphasizes holistic development. Lessons are designed to integrate intellectual, emotional, and spiritual growth. Students participate in Vedic rituals, learn ethical conduct, and practice meditation. Regular involvement in ashram activities teaches responsibility, humility, and leadership. The Gurukul ensures that ancient knowledge remains vibrant, preparing students to navigate the modern challenges while preserving dharmic principles. Embodying the inclusive essence of this ashram is your ashram. Now, how does the ashram Gaushala embody the principle of compassion and service? The Gaushala is a sacred space where cows are revered, cared for, and nurtured. Gurudev teaches that serving animals is a form of meditation. It cultivates empathy, patience, and love. Visitors and volunteers feed, groom, and care for the cows, experiencing firsthand the joy of selfless service. The Gaushala embodies the essence of the song's message, "This land is your land." Becomes this ashram as your land, a shared space where all life is respected and nourished. Walking among the cows, meditating near the pens, and participating in seva instills calm, mindfulness, and spiritual connection. The experience teaches that dharmic living includes compassion toward all beings, creating a microcosm of harmony within the ashram. Now, from a Vedic perspective, cows are considered Kamadhenu, the wish fulfilling divine mother. The Gaushala is maintained according to Ayurvedic principles, ensuring nutrition, hygiene, and energy balance. Cow products like ghee, milk, and dung are used in rituals, organic farming, and panchakarma therapies. The Vedic Dhamma ensures that volunteers understand the sacredness of their work and the ecological balance of the ashram by integrating seva, ritual, and sustainability. The Gaushala becomes a living example of Vedic wisdom, demonstrating that compassion and responsibility toward life are central to spiritual growth. Now, how do the ashrams as lakes like lotus ponds and water bodies connect visitors to nature and spirituality? Water bodies within the ashram serve as centers for meditation, reflection, and ritual. Lotus ponds symbolize purity and spiritual growth, mirroring the journey of the soul. Walking along lakes or meditating on their banks fosters mindfulness, calm, and inner clarity. Gurudev often emphasizes that water is a teacher. Its depth, clarity, and flow mirror the ideal state of the mind. Visitors experience serenity and connection, recognizing that the ashram is not merely a place of buildings but a living ecosystem where spiritual and natural harmony coexist. In this sense, the song resonates, "This ashram is your land, a shared sanctuary for all beings to rejuvenate physically, emotionally, and spiritually." That the lakes and ponds are maintained for both ecological sustainability and spiritual energy. Native aquatic plants, fish, and natural filtration maintain ecological balance. Rituals like Jala Puja honor water's sacredness, reinforcing Vedic principles of reverence for nature. Surrounding walkways, meditation platforms, and seating areas encourage interaction without disrupting the ecosystem. Visitors learn that spiritual practice extends to ecological responsibility, and the ashram becomes a model where devotion, meditation, and nature stewardship are harmoniously integrated. Now, how does the ashrams as Tapovan reinforce spiritual discipline through immersion in nature? Tapovan is a forested retreat that immerses visitors in quietude, meditation, and reflection. Walking along winding paths, listening to birds, and observing the trees fosters mindfulness and attunement with the natural rhythms. Gurudev encourages participants to see themselves as part of this ecosystem, practicing inner silence alongside outer harmony. The experience transforms the ashram into a shared spiritual land. Everyone can explore, meditate, and rejuvenate. Tapovan becomes a living metaphor for the song, an inclusive sacred landscape where every seeker is welcome, reflecting the universality of spiritual practice. Now, Tapovan is maintained according to Vedic ecological and energetic principles. Meditation platforms, shrines, and walking paths are carefully positioned to enhance energy flow and pranic balance. Rituals like Vana Yagya sanctify the forested area, connecting human activity with the natural cycles. Visitors learn that ecological stewardship, meditation, and dharmic action are interconnected. Tapovan demonstrates that spiritual discipline is not confined to indoor halls but flourishes when humans live in respectful alignment with nature, embodying the ashrams' message of inclusivity, mindfulness, and shared sacred space. Now, how do the ashram programs like Sudarshan Kriya and meditation integrate with its physical spaces? Sudarshan Kriya and meditation sessions are conducted in halls, amphitheaters, gardens, and even lakesides, harmonizing inner energy with the outer environment. Gurudev emphasizes that energy is amplified by collective participation and conscious space. Participants often feel a profound connection to the land itself. The gardens, lakes, and open air halls resonate with calm and vitality. The song's message of shared ownership applies here. Every practitioner, volunteer, or visitor experiences the ashram as their own, contributing to the vibrational harmony of the space. This integration turns every activity into a holistic practice, emerging body, mind, and the environment. Vedic principles guide the placement of meditation spaces to enhance prana and subtle energy. The halls as acoustics, the amphitheaters as openness, and the serenity of gardens all facilitate deeper meditation. Volunteers and staff maintain these spaces with conscious care, understanding that environment shapes the experience. Programs like Sudarshan Kriya exemplify the Vedic ideal of Kriya Yoga, action that purifies, energizes, and connects participants to universal consciousness. The integration of program and space ensures that spiritual practices, both experiential and ecological, reflecting the ashram's vision of inclusivity and shared sacred land. Now, how does the ashram's cultural programming reflect the universality of a spiritual experience? Cultural programs, including bhajans, classical music, and dance performances, embody the ashram's inclusive ethos. Participants from various countries engage in music, rhythm, and devotion, discovering that spirituality transcends language, culture, and nationality. Gurudev teaches that art is a medium of consciousness. When shared collectively, it amplifies joy and unity. The song's sentiment, "This ashram is your land," is realized here. The stage, gardens, and halls become spaces for everyone to contribute and experience collective spiritual upliftment. Visitors often report a deep sense of belonging and shared consciousness to these programs. Programs are meticulously planned to reflect Vedic traditions while being accessible to global audiences. Choreography, music, and rituals are harmonized to enhance pranic energy and devotional ambience. Volunteers participate in staging, chanting, and supporting artists, learning that seva and cultural expression are inseparable. The ashram demonstrates that spiritual experience is universal, and through cultural engagement, participants internalize the values of unity, mindfulness, and devotion, transforming the ashram into a shared sanctuary for all. Now, how does the amphitheater at the ashram enhance collective spiritual experience? The amphitheater is a unique open air space that allows large groups to gather for bhajans, meditation, and cultural performances. Gurudev often emphasizes that sound, rhythm, and collective intention amplify spiritual energy. Sitting under the sky with a gentle breeze and natural surroundings, participants feel a deep connection to both nature and each other. It embodies the spirit of the song, "This ashram is your land." Every participant is part of the collective experience, contributing their energy, voice, and presence. People often describe a profound sense of unity and inner upliftment, as if the land itself is resonating with their devotion. Architecturally, the amphitheater is designed according to Vedic principles to enhance acoustics, energy flow, and sightlines. Sightlines during festivals, Rudra Puja, or Bhajan evenings, the sound vibrations extend to surrounding gardens and lakes, creating a harmonized spiritual environment. Volunteers manage seating, lighting, and organization as a form of seva, learning that service itself contributes to collective energy. The amphitheater demonstrates that devotional spaces are not merely functional, they are sanctified areas and arenas where everyone's presence strengthens the spiritual rhythm of the ashram. Now, how do the ashrams, walking paths, and meditation trails encourage mindfulness? The walking paths weave through gardens, tapovan, and lakes, providing a serene environment for mindful walking and meditation. Gurudev teaches that walking in awareness, observing each step, breath, and nature, natural detail, is a form of moving meditation. Visitors often feel a sense of inner calm, grounding, and connectedness with the surroundings. The trail reinforces the song's theme. "This ashram is your land," a space where everyone can pause, reflect, and rejuvenate. Walking in harmony with nature also helps internalize lessons of patience, observation, and presence, essential for spiritual growth. Now, paths and trails are planned to enhance prana flow, connect meditational spots, and minimize ecological disturbance. Volunteers maintain these areas through seva, understanding that even small acts of care amplify positive energy. Informational science provide guidance on plants, birds, and spiritual significance, blending education and mindfulness. By using these paths consciously, visitors experience that every step in the ashram is sacred, a practice of meditation, ecological awareness, and spiritual discipline. Now, how do the gardens and greenery of the ashram support ecological awareness and spiritual reflection? The gardens with the flowering plants, sacred trees, and lotus ponds offer both aesthetic beauty and a space for spiritual reflection. Gurudev emphasizes that connecting with nature is a vital part of inner growth. Sitting in gardens or meditating near ponds cultivates clarity, patience, and gratitude. Visitors and volunteers learn that caring for plants and trees is a form of meditation and seva. The song's idea of belonging, this ashram is your land, resonates strongly here. The land and its greenery are shared spaces inviting everyone to interact, nurture, and reflect. Now, gardens are maintained following Vedic ecological principles, preserving biodiversity and supporting wildfire. Sacred trees like peepal and tulsi are used for rituals and meditation, enhancing the spiritual ambience. Volunteers participate in planting, watering, and upkeep, learning that service nurtures both the environment and consciousness. The ashram's greenery embodies the harmony of dharma, ecology, and spirituality, demonstrating that responsible care of nature is inseparable from devotional practice. Now, how does the ashram integrate seva into daily spiritual practice? Seva is considered meditation in action at the ashram. Volunteers cook, clean, maintain gardens, and assist in programs while remaining mindful and conscious of their actions. Gurudev often states that selfless service purifies the heart, strengthens discipline, and enhances devotion. Seva transforms mundane tasks into sacred opportunities, reinforcing the song's ethos. This ashram is all, and every individual has a role in maintaining the collective energy and beauty of the ashram. Participants often experience joy, humility, and connection while serving, realizing that giving is as powerful as meditation. Now, from a Vedic perspective, seva is karma yoga action performed without expectation of reward. The ashram structures seva activities to combine practicality with spiritual awareness. Volunteers are guided to approach each task as sacred, whether tending plants, managing kitchens, or supporting programs. The integration of service, mindfulness, and community participation reinforces the ashram's ethos that devotion, discipline, and care for others are inseparable. The practice also cultivates empathy, responsibility, and harmony within the spiritual community. Now, how do the meditation halls contribute to deepening spiritual practice? Meditation halls are designed for collective and individual practice, providing a serene focus environment. Gurudev emphasizes the importance of dedicated space for inner work where mind, breath, and energy can align. The halls as architecture, natural light, and acoustics enhance concentration and amplify the vibrations of chanting and meditation. Visitors often report profound experiences of peace, clarity, and expanded awareness. The song's message resonates here. This ashram is your land. These halls belong to everyone seeking inner growth, offering a sanctuary for reflection and practice. Now, halls are positioned according to Vastu Shastra principles to maximize pranic flow and energy resonance. Rituals, homas, and meditation sessions conducted here follow precise timing and procedures to enhance spiritual impact. Volunteers and staff ensure cleanliness and order as part of seva, understanding that their contribution maintains the sacredness of the space. Meditation halls illustrate the ashram's integration of architecture, energy, and practice, providing a foundation for spiritual growth accessible to all. Now, how do the Panchakarma therapies at the ashram align body, mind, and spirit? Panchakarma therapies are designed to detoxify, rejuvenate, and balance energy. Herbal oils, massages, and cleansing procedures purify the body, while integrated meditation and pranayama harmonize the mind and consciousness. Gurudev teaches that physical wellness enhances spiritual receptivity, allowing participants to meditate more deeply and engage fully in spiritual practice. The song's sentiment, "This ashram is your land," amplifies and applies. Everyone can experience these healing practices, contributing to overall harmony and vitality within the ashram community. Now, Panchakarma is administered according to classical Ayurvedic protocols, emphasizing dosha balance, seasonal appropriatedness, and energetic alignment. Therapists guide participants through treatments mindfully, and the space integrates nature, sound, and light to enhance efficacy. Volunteers assist with preparation and prayer, learning that service and attention to detail amplify therapeutic outcomes. Panchakarma demonstrates that ancient wisdom, scientific understanding, and mindfulness converge to create holistic wellness accessible for all. Now, how does the Ashram's library and knowledge centers and the research center foster spiritual learning? The library at the ashram is more than a repository of books. It is a living center for exploration, reflection, and study. Gurudev emphasizes that knowledge and wisdom are essential for spiritual growth. Visitors and volunteers can access texts on Vedic philosophy, yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, and global spiritual traditions. Studying in this environment encourages inquiry, contemplation, and the practical application of spiritual principles. In harmony with the song's message, this ashram is your land. The library invites everyone to partake in learning and reflection, providing the tools to understand and integrate spiritual wisdom into daily life. Now, knowledge centers are curated to combine traditional Vedic wisdom with the contemporary insights. Manuscripts, digital archives, and guided study sessions ensure that participants gain both depth and clarity. Volunteers help maintain and organize resources, practicing seva in support of learning. The library embodies the ashram's vision that spiritual education is accessible to all, shared intellectual and contemplative space where knowledge enhances meditation, self awareness, and community understanding. Now, how do festival celebrations at the ashram embody devotion, learning, and community? Festivals like Navratri, Anjane Homam, Hanuman Jayanti, and Guru Purnima transform the ashram into a vibrant hub of devotion and learning. Gurudev emphasizes that rituals, chants, and cultural programs during festivals allow participants to experience joy, spiritual energy, and collective harmony. Volunteers and visitors engage in seva, preparation, and participation, fostering inclusion and a sense of belonging. The song inspired sentiment, "This ashram is your land," is realized as the ashram becomes a shared sacred space where everyone contributes to and benefits from the celebration. Now, festival management is rooted in Vedic tradition and logistical precision. Rituals are performed according to Muhurat, chants and homas align with cosmic cycles, and volunteers facilitate smooth participation. Festivals serve as educational experiences, teaching Vedic customs, ethical values, and community service. These celebrations exemplify the ashram's holistic vision, integrating devotion, culture, education, and shared spiritual experience in a sacred, inclusive environment. Now, how does the Panchavati area support meditation, reflection, and spiritual practice? Yes, Jagudev, Panchavati with its sacred trees, quiet groves, and meditation platforms provides an ideal environment for introspection and silent practice. Gurudev often guides groups here to meditate amidst nature or guided meditations on the social media platforms, observe birds and plants, and internalize lessons of patience and presence. The space embodies the song's essence. This ashram is your land, offering a sanctuary where all can connect with their inner selves while feeling part of a larger shared spiritual ecosystem. Panchavati is maintained according to Vedic ecological principles, with pathways, seating, and platforms strategically placed for energy harmony. Sacred trees like neem and people are preserved for both ritual use and ecological balance. Volunteers participate in upkeep, realizing that their service amplifies the spiritual resonance of the area. Panchavati exemplifies the ashram's integration of meditation, ecology, and community, a living testament to the harmony of nature, dharma, and human presence. Now, how does the ashram create a sense of shared ownership and belonging for all visitors? The ashram's philosophy centers on inclusivity, community, and collective spiritual experience. Gurudev often reminds visitors that the ashram is not just a physical space, but a living, breathing ecosystem where each individual contributes to presence, practice, and seva. From meditation halls and tapovan trails to lakes, gardens, and cultural programs, every space encourages engagement and reflection. The song's refrain, adapted as "This ashram is your land," perfectly captures this ethos. Everyone is welcome to learn, serve, and experience spiritual growth. Visitors often leave with a deep sense of connection, responsibility, and love for the ashram. The ashram ensures accessibility and inclusivity through programs, guided tours, volunteer opportunities, and multilingual support. Rituals, meditation sessions, and festivals are designed to integrate newcomers, integrate visitors, and long term practitioners. Volunteers learn that shared care for spaces, participation in programs, and engagement in community service reinforce belonging by blending Vedic wisdom, ecological awareness, and cultural engagement and spiritual practice. The ashram cultivates a profound sense of ownership, community, and shared spiritual responsibility, making a philosophy of "this ashram is your land" a lived reality. Jagadip.